But it's got to be said, gents, you come to the MCG, you think two sides very evenly matched. That first half, incredibly even. The first half, split it in two. Geelong dominated early. The second quarter, it was all Collingwood. But from halftime onwards, Geelong could not be faulted. The pressure that they brought, their ball movement up forward, and there were a lot of question marks for Collingwood coming out of that second half.
There is, Shane, 11 goals to 4 after half-time. And I think it was a very complete performance by Geelong. Like, there's nothing that you come away and go, oh, I've got a few concerns here. I thought defensively they're as good as anyone in the comp, and then their run, their carry, their spread, and then their ability to kick inside 50 with just such great poise, the connection they have for each other to be able to make things look easy. So for Henry to kick his 4 and Manor to kick 3, Shannon Neale to kick a couple, Dangerfield to kick a couple. So they've got options absolutely everywhere. So as I said earlier in the game, it might be a tall defender. They need De Koning to really stand tall maybe. If Stanley can hold up in the ruck. Sullivan's still young. He's a very good player, but he's still young. You wouldn't want him to be your number one defender. But aside from that, sure, they've got weapons everywhere.
Look, you just know that every time they play, they're so competitive. They're well drilled. They've got enough experience to know what to do under pressure. I love the way that they just dismantled Collingwood tonight by, one, the handball transition was fantastic after half-time. But you just look how they kicked their goals. They kicked 11 of their 18 from marks inside 50. So that just shows the connection they had. Collingwood couldn't defend it, and then they just got easy looks inside 50. Collingwood kicked 3 from marks, 3 goals. They kicked, 9 for the game, and a few of them were late. But they desperately need a key forward to help them out, and like you said, maybe another midfielder. But this is the way that it's got to keep evolving for Collingwood. They know, 4 years ago they made a decision, let's try and get some older players in. I've been a bit disappointed with Houston.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the player that we like. Maybe he's playing a different role. They'll have to look at that. But no, they were found out tonight, and they deserved their win, Geelong. They were the best side, skill-wise, by a mile.
Yeah, I like the word skill, sure. You bang on. They were so much cleaner than Collingwood. It's not funny. So, as I said, I look forward to hearing Craig McRae after the game, because they have been shown up tonight. I haven't seen Collingwood shown up like this at a game live in a while. But they were exposed in so many areas, so many players who just do not use the footy well enough, that make poor decisions, ageing list, forwards who just can't really, they ask that much of Jamie Elliott. Like, Jamie Elliott's still meant to be their one, and he's 6 foot.
You can't, yeah.
No, that's right, he's 6 foot, but he's still the most lively.
He should be the third P.
He should be, yeah. So, they were exposed. As I said, they're a 7 to 10 side at best, I think, Collingwood this year. They're not a top 6 side, and that's what Geelong are, and they'll be there at the end of the year.
133 693 is the number if you want to join us on the Nick Theodosi Prestige Cars open line. If you've been listening at home, driving around town, or have been here at the MCG tonight and just leaving Yarra Park, 133 693 133 693. We'll take your calls through the evening. Of course, after 11 o'clock, Eddie Summerfield will join you with Footy Nightline. But Geelong fans, Collingwood fans alike, would love to hear from you. Magpies, where does it leave Collingwood? 4 wins, 4 losses and a draw to start the year. Sydney, West Coast and the Western Bulldogs to come over the next 3 weeks for Geelong. Brisbane next week up at the Gabba, Sydney at Cardinia Park, which will be a ripper, and then Carlton back here at the MCG. But what Geelong was able to do tonight, I think a lot of people will again be thinking, well, we can't again write this side off.
Oh, no, you can't do that. As we see again, they're both sides lining up for Tom Stewart, 200th game. Fantastic career, and still a very, very good player. He was tagged tonight by Ned Long. Still got it done for them, but this is one part of the game I love from both teams.
No, lovely gesture by the Magpies as well to line up along the Geelong race to pay tribute to one of the absolute stars of the competition. That's not putting it lightly. Tom Stewart, 200 games tonight. Dual best and fairest at Geelong, 5-time All-Australian, and almost had the 8th goal of his career during the evening. So the Cats will get down to the rooms very shortly. They'll be able to celebrate their win. For the Magpies, they trudge off the MCG. As I said, they travel to Sydney next week to take on the Swans. Scott Pendlebury will not be part of that travelling party. He will wait for 2 weeks' time when Collingwood returns here to the MCG to take on the West Coast Eagles. And, of course,
that becomes
is
a big one, the Swans game too, you know.
Yeah.
That is a massive game for Collingwood. You can't just get into that win-loss ratio, which is negative.
And they'll have no Darcy Moore, who was out with concussion, and Curnow will be back too, you'd think, who didn't play in this game against North Melbourne today. So Swans will get stronger.
Because Shannon Neale has been kind enough to join us. He's alongside you, Ed.
I shook his hand. How's the finger to begin with? We thought it was dislocated. We thought it had fallen off. Then you went and took a good mark and kicked a goal. How is it?
Yeah, no, it's fine now. Like I said, it sort of raised up. It was dislocated, so I tried to smack it back in because I wanted to get back out there, and then I ended up getting out the back. So it was nice. Good block from Ollie Henry to help me take the mark. But yeah, no, it's all good. Feeling good now.
Did you have any luck actually putting it in, or did it need doctor assistance to finally pop it back in?
Yeah, Jimmy, our doctor, came out and put it back in. He was telling me to relax, and he just sort of slotted it. I didn't feel anything, and he goes, yep, you're sweet to go. And I was like, all right, no worries. So, happy days.
Shannon, Tony Shaw up here with Lloyd, mate. Well done. Congratulations. Great game. What we thought you did really well was just stop Collingwood from making the ground fat and spreading your defence. Your defensive work, especially in your forward half, was just sensational.
Yeah, definitely. We pride ourselves on our forward pressure, inside forward 50 especially. I know us forwards, we've got a bit of a fine system. If you don't have any tackles, then you've got to pay up a fine at the end of the week. So we pride ourselves on that. But all in all, the team did really well. We know that they wanted to sort of bring it back through the corridor, so we tried our best to flood in there and defend in through there, and we did it quite well tonight.
We just, Lloyd, he said, and he's a better forward, or he was a great forward, but he said that the coordination and the communication between your forwards, you just always seem to have a lot of space. You took 11 marks to kick 11 of your goals.
Yeah, no, it was. It's something that we pride ourselves on again. It's something in our communication, and I know we've got a lot of weapons down there. We've got obviously Danger and Jez, two of the greats of the game. We've got those down there, so we've got to maximise our resources, and communication helps a long way go with that. So it was good that we had a bit of synergy tonight, and we could get it in there.
And you probably threw them out a little bit. They threw Quaynor out to a wing, which probably is a little change, but that's what Dempsey does. They threw Quaynor out to him. And also threw side bottom out to the back line. So I thought you got them pretty early with matchups too. And just want to ask you about Oisin Mullen and his job on Daycock, because we thought he was superb.
Yeah, he's been superb all year. He's such a valuable player for us. He's very selfless, and he's sort of coming into his own. He's not only sort of defending the opposition, but he's getting on the end of the offensive side, and it's great to see him set up our attack.
Can I ask you, who's the one bloke you want to lead to at Geelong?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're the most elite kicks, are they, those blokes?
Nah, we got, Max is a great ball user. Bosey's actually very neat with his kicking. He sort of takes off the penetration of the ball, allows you to sort of come at it really nicely. But, yeah, we trust our guys to get in there. Obviously, Pat's not the greatest kick, but we make do with what we can.
There's a bit of a whack for Pat there. Hopefully
he's
doesn't
standing next to me here. He's got headphones on, he can't hear me. But
that's good. Love that, Shannon. Where would you rate that performance tonight in terms of your best as a team for the season?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. They're a quality outfit, and we sort of felt that we've been a bit inconsistent with our performances throughout the year to date. So we want to get some momentum in our game and sort of get that flow-on effect where everyone's on the same page. And tonight it felt like we sort of got there a bit. Obviously, it was a bit here and there last week against North Melbourne. Obviously, not the result we wanted against Port Adelaide. So we're just trying to get our game humming, and tonight's a good step in that direction. One
on the milestone man, Tom Stewart. How difficult is he to train against because of his ability to read the ball in the air?
Super difficult. Obviously, I've got the height advantage on Stewie, but his IQ is unmatched. He's absolutely unbelievable. He's been huge for me. I sent him a nice text message today just saying how the impact he's had on me as a player, but the impact he's had on my family since coming to Geelong, making it feel like home. He's a great player, but you hear it, it's a cliche, but he's an unbelievable person, and I feel like he's a big part as to where I am today.
Shannon, a terrific win from the Cats tonight. It doesn't get any easier. You take on Brisbane next week up at the Gabba in a grand final rematch. Appreciate your time tonight.
No worries. Thanks, gents.
Let's get down to the Collingwood rooms because one of their stars has been kind enough to join us. Eddie Summerfield, down to you.
Yeah, Jack Driscoll alongside me. Jack, how do you process tonight, and what happened really after the 20-minute mark of the second quarter?
Well, yeah, it's obviously a tough pill to swallow. We did a lot right in the first half. Probably could have had a bit more scoreboard pressure on But yeah, there was a lot of green on our board. We're really happy with kind of where we're sitting. But yeah, we came out in the third quarter and yeah, didn't quite look up to scratch.
Hey, Jack, Matthew Lloyd up here. Thanks for joining us tonight. It just looked like you were just so stagnant. Like you just had no ability to move the ball through that middle part of the game. Obviously, full credit to Geelong, but did you notice that out there?
Yeah, we did a little bit. Every time we kind of looked up, it felt like Geelong were covering the corridor really well, which we know we like to try and get some speed on the ball and go through there at times, which, yeah, made it hard. And then I think we probably had a bit too much distance in between our forwards and our backs. So we did want to go long down the line. We didn't really have much to go to. And then, yeah, Geelong put some really good pressure on at times.
Hey, Crispy Shorey here. The Quaynor side bottom shift of Quaynor on the Ollie Dempsey, was that because you know that he does go forward a hell of a lot, and has Matapak been a fairly good marking player for him off the wing, and that's where Quaynor was probably suited better than side bottom, although it didn't work tonight, we didn't think up here.
Yeah, now that was the plan. Pretty much when me and Isaac would come back as as like a seventh defender, because Dempsey would end up in the goal square. I thought it started off okay. I didn't really notice him too much early, but as the whole game played out, they got on top everywhere, all over the ground. So we kind of went away from that in the last quarter and tried to play with a bit more speed on the ball. But again, Geelong went forward and kicked 3 early goals and really put us to bed.
Jack, obviously a disappointing loss, an opportunity for redemption on Friday night. Big game against the Swans at the SCG. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll regroup and probably do some set shot goal kicking this week.
Good on you, Jack.